Man, you just gotta love those songs. I still get a kick out of them. I didn't get a chance to even change anything up. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Humpday Happy Hour Hangout here at the Director's Garage. Caldera Closeback, subject of the next after part 2 episode. I was working absolutely. I kind of mistimed things, fellas. Let's just be honest. I was shooting in Malibu earlier today. We did an interview with Dick Van Dyke, legend, 98 years old, Dick Van Dyke, and it's going to air Friday on Entertainment Tonight for those of you interested. And I'm also worried about my bit rate today. I don't know, it's a side note, but a little concerned about that because the internet's been doing funny things around here just today. Anyway, I was shooting with Dick Van Dyke, and I came back here, and I thought, well, I'll put it at 5 o'clock. I have to do a shoot report. I'm not done with the shoot report. In fact, I was writing up until the very last second, and so I got to get back to that. So we're just going to do like an hour today, and then I'll finish up my shoot report and get on with everybody can get on with their lives. We did have, obviously, part 1 of my review of the of the Ray Samuels Audio B21 Radar. we got that. The part 2 episode will be out tomorrow. I told you weren't going to have to wait long. I promised you that. I finished that episode up last night, but I want to give this episode a chance to breathe a little bit. Not doing terribly well. In fact, it's doing crappy for what it is. For a $12,500 amp, I thought we'd get people flooding in the doors to check that out because it is so cool. And I love the cliffhanger on it. But if nobody sees the cliffhanger of the first episode, will they think to come back for part 2? I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I got a hole in my shirt here. Look at that. Look at that. How's everybody doing? Cheers, everyone. Welcome to Wednesday. Welcome to the Happy Hour Hangout. And like I said, I have no agenda today. I have nothing prepared. Raise your best topics in the chat. Get some discussion going. I'll see if I can jump on and jump in and whatever. I don't want to give away much about part 2 because it's coming tomorrow. You'll have it before you know it. It'll be there tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. drop time. I've got one quick little fix to make on it. It'll upload. You'll see the preview. And then it'll be an interesting experiment because I still have this theory, this YouTube theory that, well, I had to split it because you can't do an hour-long episode. And I did wind up doing a 50 minutes of show. Tomorrow's episode is almost a half an hour, the part 2. There's a really nice music section in it. I really worked hard on it. I hope you guys enjoy that. Very exciting. Then, it's like talking about the music that comes, and then I always get into a little bit of backstory on some artist, and I did that for tomorrow's episode. There's a fun music section, and then we check out the chassis. Nothing's here, by the way. Everything's gone. So I got no amps. I got almost no amps behind me. I went from a full house to a bare shelf like that. I've got nothing left in house. It's funny. The Zale HM1 sold. It's gone. The Ray Samuels B21 Raider is on its way back to Chicago right now. The Aegis is on its way back to Chicago right now. I got nothing. Even if I had time to listen to music, I couldn't do it. I had no time. So tomorrow we're going to talk about my impressions of part 2. And, that'll be out. All of that stuff about the amp and the new chassis, the power supply. What a great cliffhanger that was, though. And shout out to Ray Samuels for sending that our way. And as I was putting it together, I was just like, this is perfect for my show. You know, it's like for the show's sake. I know it's not perfect for you guys. You just would like it all in one thing. But, you know, nobody watches that. But it'll be an interesting experiment tomorrow to see how that episode does, because I'm not going to cut it off with a live stream a day after the episode airs. And I have a theory that maybe if you put a live stream out, which doesn't get a lot of views, the day after an episode hits, which gets a lot of views, you may be killing yourself with the YouTube algorithm as far as YouTube promoting that episode. Because now your latest episode is this live stream that nobody's watching. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how it does. Part one, like I said, it underperformed where I thought it would go. I'm a little disappointed. But, you know, some of these episodes also are slow burns. It's like stuff that starts slow over time winds up being huge views. So it was just a slow start, and usually it picks up, but it hasn't. So maybe I did something wrong. Maybe nobody wants to, wants to see it. But it's, whatever it is. I'm passionate about this hobby, and I'm passionate about that product. And that is something I am gunning for. I don't know how I'm going to pull it off, but man, I would love to get that in here. That's something I want, badly. But, we'll see what happens. Anything can happen between now and I don't have a shipping date yet. Steve, I see Steve's name down there. Steve, maybe you can help out with if you know anything about when Ray is going to start shipping and putting these things out into the world. That's one thing I did not get any information about. But it's exciting. It's exciting. There's a new product there's a new sheriff coming to town, and I couldn't be more excited. The Hangover Hangout, the next Hangover Hangout. That's the Patreon thing I do for $3. $3. There's a link in the description down below if you're interested in that. The next Hangover Hangout, I am going to get Ray back for that Hangover Hangout. And I'm excited about that because there's a lot of questions that went unanswered from our first Hangover Hangout with Ray. I have a question out to him. I'm just waiting to hear back. It's going to be on a Sunday instead of a Saturday. Saturday is Ray's church day, and he can't do it. But I'm trying to find out which of the next upcoming weekends he's got a Sunday morning free to join us again for the Hangout, and that will determine when the next Hangout is. It's nothing I'm playing games with. It's just going to come down to I want to book Ray again, and I want to work around his schedule because he's nice enough to join us and carve time out of his life for us. And just what a wealth of information. If you guys saw the first Hangout was so good with Ray. He just had stories, and it was just great. So I can't wait for I cannot wait for that Hangover Hangout. Again, it's $3. It's less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks. Phenomenal. And that'll be coming up. I'll have more information. Pay attention to the Patreon or whatever. I'll try and announce it in the the community page here on YouTube. I usually put it up there, and then I send a blast out to all the Patreon people so they know when to tune in. And I hope you guys can make it for that, because it was, boy, what a great episode that was. And to get a chance, a second shot at that, and now that I've heard the amp and spent some time with it, man, it brings up a ton more questions that I'd love to get one-on-one with Ray about. So super excited about that. I love part two. Part two, I think, part one was a little more of the zany, and part two is more of the, oh wow, we got to check this new thing out. The new tuning out, and what I think. So very, very interesting episode. I hope you'll find part two as enjoyable as part one was for me to make. And thank you guys for watching. That's great. Let's get to the chat. Like I said, it's going to be a shorter Hangout today, Humpday Hangout. I just mistimed my life today. Barely got on the air, and we're here. We're live. My eyes are open. The car's back. Boys, the car's back. The car is back and it's working. I picked it up last week. We're very happy. I've got my car back. That's making life easier. Tomorrow's going to be a painful day. And the reason we're doing the live stream today is because I don't have any time the rest of the week. Tomorrow is the ESPY Awards. I'll be at the ESPY Awards and all day. It's a full day, full night. And Friday I will be absolutely wiped out because of Thursday. And then I'm working Saturday. So it's just going to be a messy situation the next couple days for your director. And then I'm going to take a few days just to recuperate, because doing a 50-minute, that's the longest episode I've ever done. Even if you include the shootout, the big, huge shootout shows that I did where I broke it into 3 parts, if you add up all that time, it's not equal to the length of this B21 thing. So really, this is one of the longest, most involved episodes I've ever done. I'm excited to get it out there, and I hope you guys are enjoying it. I hope you guys enjoyed part 1. Did ya? Oh, so much to do. So much to do, so little time. Don't have any viewer systems today, but if you have a viewer system, you can always send your photos of your stuff to this email address right here, directorsgarage@gmail.com. And yeah, we'll put your photos on the air. We love to do that. We love to check out people's rigs, what they're doing. I was in the car today, and I came across, I'm like, I haven't seen this in forever. Let's see if I still got it, if I've got it close at hand. Nope. It's missing. Rats. He feels around in his bag. But I came across my Astell&Kern. Maybe it's over here. Nope, not over here either. Oh, it's in the outer pocket. Here it is. Look at this. I found it. I had lost this. I haven't seen this since I moved. I don't even know if there's any power in it. Is there any power in this thing? Probably not. My Astell&Kern 240, AK240. And this is the Blue Note edition of this. So it's all anodized blue, and then it's got a little Blue Note logo down here. I just found this in my car. I was looking for a tire pressure. My tire sensor thing went off and went, your tire's low. I'm like, oh God, I gotta check it. But then I went in my glove compartment, I found this, and I'm like, this is a score. I love this thing. This is my favorite audio player of all time. And it doesn't have all the bells and whistles of the SP1000 and the stuff with the tubes and that, but it is a perfect form factor for a digital audio player. I love this thing. And I'm so thrilled that I found it. Little things, guys. It's the little things. Let's get to the chat. Howdy, Ace of Spades. Thanks for starting late. I was almost late myself, my friend. Cheers to you. David says he can't wait for that Raider review part 2. Yeah, it's coming tomorrow morning. You will have it tomorrow. I promise. It's going to be there. It's already done. It's in the can. I'm going to change. The only thing I want to do, there's a section in there where I'm swapping between power supplies, and I want to make it clear graphically what I'm listening to. So I'm going to put a little chyron up on the screen. I haven't done that, but that's a quick thing. That'll take me 20 minutes. But that's just a fix. That was Mrs. Director chiming in. I told her that I was going live for an hour. She gave me a little heart emoji back. Marriage, boys, marriage. Ryan Dietz in the Ryan has hooked me up with, oh man, upcoming episode, boys. It's coming from Ryan. Ryan's hookup, man. I can't give it away. And there's a chance that it, who knows if it, falls apart. Things fall apart sometimes, but Ryan's hooking me up in a major way, and we're going to have something really cool around here very shortly. Very excited. And he's got that new, and I didn't say this right last week. We were talking about he's got a deal between Mod House and and Enlium. He's got the 23RM, which now is coming. There's a what I missed last week that I didn't say, and I went back and watched the show. And the RMH is not just a package deal where they send you a case with the Mod House tungsten in it and the 23RMH amp, but it's also it's got different electronics in it specifically to drive the Mod House tungsten. It's a more powerful version of the Enlium 23RM, which is the portable small amp from Enlium based on the 23R that we reviewed on this show. So this is the portable version, but it's a more powerful version of that. And there's no word yet if they're going to sell the RMH as a unit by itself. But it's very exciting stuff. And we spoke about this a little bit last week. I'd love to get that in here just to check it out because, you know, it's a new product. It looks good. Looks really exciting. Something small that can drive something that demanding. Ooh, good news. Good news for everyone. And I've got all kinds of this. I went through a McDonald's drive-thru earlier today. I'm telling you boys, got myself an iced tea. But very, very exciting stuff from that. That was the new product we talked about last week that came out, I think, the day we went on the air. Very, very cool stuff coming from Mr. Dietz, and he's also hooking us up on something else, which is, I hope it happens. Ooh. It's one of those, boys. Steve says the owner of the B21 002 decided to wait until part 2 to finalize their capacitors for the power supply. Yeah, and I'll have, I will definitely have that assessment tomorrow. I'm going to let that out. I don't want to give it away because it's like, you know, then why watch the show? And it's like, that's the big show. And I put so much effort into it. I really do, you know, it's cool. I'm excited to get to hear that. And then watch the whole thing through because I actually did a little insert update because we open it, we listen to it, I give my opinions of it, and then I found something else that even made it better to do. So it'll all make sense tomorrow, but stick with that episode. It's so good. I worked so hard on it. I hope you guys enjoy it. Shipping in 2 to 3 weeks. Oh, that's so good. Neil wants part 2 now. That's all he can think about. He sold his HM1 for $8K. Man, you got more than I got for mine. I sold my HM1. I am clearing the runway. We're going to try and do it. But you know, we'll see. You never know around the director's garage. I like to keep a little mystery in the equation. Probably Monday 002 will ship. Wow. So cool, man. So cool. I know I'm in that list. We'll see if it works. See if it happens. Barry says he's waiting for part 2 so he can watch them together as a treat for me. Oh, okay. So you want to go the whole hour? Lose an hour of your life to this show? Goodness. Just kidding, Barry. Barry has some of the best music recommendations, man. That's the one thing I love about this show and doing this show is you guys chime in with the best music recommendations. I always learn something, find some new artist, get somebody that's exciting. Barry always comes up with some really good names. So cool. Steve McCoy says needs 100 hours. Steve, by the way, he works with Ray. So if you guys don't know that, Steve is a part of the Ray Samuels experience, as I call it now, because it is an experience. Such great stuff, man. Such good stuff coming. It's so good. Steve says he needs 100 hours to break in. That's right. Ray does pre-burn in all of the amps to make sure everything's working, everything's right. He listens to them, makes sure that they're sounding the way that they should sound, and then he goes out with them. So very, very cool. Neil says the case is finished by the end of this week, 2 to 3 days to install PCBs. Oh, Neil's been hitting up Ray for info, or Steve, one or the other. Yeah, that's good. That's good, man. It's nice to see that it's good. Nice to see that it's getting it's going to be just right before it goes out. So good. Matthew, Neil says M23 DAP ampersand, a match made in heaven. I haven't seen that one. But I'll have to put a pin in that one for now. Matthew Tilty says many people are not liking the Spotify algorithm lately and going back to iPods and DAPs, etc. So your Astell&Kern might be worth more right now. Got it. And this goes into Tidal. Tidal will stream over this little device. It runs the same OS. It goes onto the internet, and you can stream Tidal onto your DAP. Even this version, this old 240, will stream Tidal. It's so cool. This is like the best little device. Love this thing. Love it. So cool. And I bought this primarily because the Blue Note version of this, of the Astell&Kern AK240 comes stacked with 75, it's a 75th anniversary. There's 75 here, you can't see it too easily. But it's the 75th anniversary of Blue Note Records, and it came stacked with, loaded with 75 Blue Note albums digitally mastered. It's so good. And they're all high-res files too. They're all high-res files. The RMH will be available in a month. Everything's coming in a couple of weeks. We gotta pass some time here, fellas. We gotta pass some times. It can drive anything, and it's basically 2 amps in one. Voltage mode is totally different circuit than the current mode. Oh yeah, I saw that, Ryan. So you can put it in current mode, right? And that'll give it a higher it'll prioritize amperage, I think, and then the other one prioritizes it like does it a little bit differently. So the current mode gives it more guts to drive the mod house, and then the voltage mode is the standard mode on it. So very cool. So you can power your IEMs, you can also power a mod house with one device. Very cool. Graybeard says, really looking forward to the Caldera Close review. That's coming. That's on the runway. I can't get rid of these Air Force references because of the V21. Yeah, this one's taxiing. This is the next thing we're going to do. This is the next big review after the Ray Samuels epic is complete, and that's going to be 2 weeks because Director needs a little sleep time. I have not been getting these episodes out, man. It's working until 1, 2 in the morning, and I am up at 6 every single day, just making sure I'm not in trouble here. Checking work. Very good. So we're gonna do the. You'll get a full comparison of the closed versus the open. I haven't done in fairness, haven't done any listening, very little listening with these, and I haven't had any time. And when I was doing the different reviews, this is not a good headphone for me to check out any gear with because I don't know what it sounds like yet. The Caldera, I know what the sound signature is. So when I put on a headphone that I'm familiar with, I know how it sounds on a variety of amps, and I kind of know the sound of the headphone. When I'm putting on, I'm just going to turn the volume down on that. When I'm putting on an unknown headphone and I'm matching it with an unknown piece of gear like the B21, I've got 2 variables I'm listening to. Am what I'm hearing unique to that headphone, or is it the sound of the amp? So it's much more beneficial from a review standpoint for me to go keep a control or one thing that I really, really know, and compare headphones that way. So these have sat around. I mean, other than putting them on for today's live stream, I haven't been sitting around listening to these at all. So I'm going to dive in when I start doing the review of this, which I haven't even started really doing significant listening on these, I'll get a chance to really dive in and get some good impressions on it. But I can't, they're not of much use for me when I'm going through amps, because I'm trying to describe what the amp sounds like. And if I don't know what the headphone sounds like, I don't know what the amp is providing. You know what I mean? So it could have a lot of slam, but it could be a really slammy headphone. And so on normal headphones, like, there's no slam, and I wouldn't know it because this headphone's producing a lot of slam, but it's the headphone, not the amp, right? Does that make sense? Anyway, so, but I'm looking forward to it. He's looking forward to he is too. And the Atrium Open, he loved part 1 of B21. Thank you, fine work. Well, you know, it's my service to you guys. And it's a tribute to Ray and everything Ray's done. You know, I tried to allude to this in part 1. There was no reason Ray had to do this amp. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't have to do this. This was something that he just did out of a passion. And, you know, that's something that rings really strong with me and my work ethic and my approach to things. I don't have to do this show. This show is just a passion project. It connects me with people like, you know, smart people who have a passion for music and audio and good sound. And that, to me, that makes this show worth the effort of doing. And I don't think if I had the reaction and the interaction with you all, I think I probably would have given up on this show at some point. You know, even if the subscribers and the viewers, I'm like, it's not making, I mean, this show's not making any money. It's making some money, but it's like, it's not covering its costs. It costs me more to make it than it does, you know, than I get back from it. But it's the interaction, and that's why I keep doing episodes and exploring further. And I'm just a curious person. And this is a way for me to apply my production skills, my, you know, working in the television industry all these years. It's my way of getting to use my tools to express something else that I'm passionate about. But the fact that Ray didn't have to do this amp, you know, he was done. He was retired. Guy's living his best life. He's got a great family, you know, everything's just going, you know, he's got everything he needs, you know. Had a great career, was in the military, designed shit for the military. Come on. Like, a major important job, you know. And then he went and conquered the headphone world, and he was done. He's like, I did it. I made my money. I'm great. I'm retired. It's good. Life is good. And he just was like, you know, I got this idea. I think I'm just going to try it. I think I'm just going to see what you know, going to start designing something. See where it goes. Oh, I still got my thing up, don't I? Sorry. I'm just going to see where this goes. I'm just going to see where this takes me. And the next thing you know, he's like, yeah, this is really, I think I've got something interesting here. And I wonder if other people would find, you know, let's take it to the next level. And the next thing you know, he's back in the business and doing like this. It's almost like, you know, it's like coming out of retirement and gonna go win the Super Bowl out of retirement. I don't know. Like, who does that? It's just so cool that, you know, he just thought, I've got one great thing I want to do here, and I'm gonna get it done and put it out there and see what happens. And to do something that good and something that sounds so excellent, I'm like, oh, you just got to take your hat off to the dude and thank him for giving us something else, you know, giving us something new to get excited about. So great. B21, his serial number is 4. Neil's got everything. Ampersand 6-watt small portable amp from Centrons. Oh yeah. I think did we talk about this last week, Neil? I think I know what you're talking about. It's a small, cool little unit. That's right. 75 albums, probably a DSD2. I think they're 192. I think they're 192 files, but still, the, you know, 75 Blue Note album. It's worth the cost. It's worth the cost, and then you get the DAP on top of it. And this is a nice DAP. I mean, it sounds good. It's not going to drive much. You know, like it doesn't have a huge power. You can't power Safara with it. You can't put your, you know, I don't know. I've never listened to it with a Caldera, but I'm assuming it would probably struggle with, you know, most powerful. But for a pair of IEMs or a really efficient headphone like one of the Mezes, the Elite, or even the Lyric, you can hook this up. I know I've used this with the Lyric. I know I've used this with the Meze Elite. And, you know, very efficient headphone, sounds wonderful, and it's this big. This really does fit in a pocket. It's not like, you know, the larger, look at the difference in size. Here's the AK1000, and the 3000 even bigger, but there's the AK1000 compared to it. Look at the size difference. Look at the size. I don't have my overhead camera. It's not even installed today, but because I had it down, I was shooting B-roll with it last couple days of the amp. And the one thing I forgot to do, this kills me. The one thing I forgot to do, and I before sending the amp back, I should have taken some photos, like taken some stills of the amp. Like normally, one of the last things I was just trying to get the, you know, I want to be respectful to Ray for sending me this amp, and I know he's got other reviews. Look, you know, as I said in the unboxing video, I know my place. I got 6,000 subscribers. I am not the ideal place to launch this amp. I have a lot of passion about it, and I'll tell anybody about anything that I'm excited about. But I don't have the megaphone. My megaphone's this big. You know what I mean? Compared to, you know, I don't know, somebody else who's got like 50,000, 100,000, 250,000 subscribers. So, you know, I know my place on that, but it's just, I wanted to respect that he sent it to me early. You know, not only one other guy had heard it by then, somebody from HeadFi, who wrote there's a written review of this on HeadFi of this amp too. So you can check that out if you're interested. Just search HeadFi for the Raider and it'll come up. But I just knew I didn't want to hold on to it for too long. I wanted to get it in here. I moved it up to the front of the line. Got the first ZMF review out because he sent me that amp too. That was very kind of him. And then I went right into the Raider. And the second I got done with it, I boxed it up and sent it away. As soon as I shot the B-roll that I needed to shoot for it, I'm like, I can finish posting. It was gone by last weekend, long before I finished the episode. As soon as I got the B-roll shot, boom, out the door. But I forgot to shoot photos of it. And I always do, if it's a new piece of gear, I always take photos. I'll set up my lights and I'll do like a couple of good shots so that the thumbnail on the video has, you know, a nice photo. And I forgot to do it. I realized after I sent it off, I'm like, oh, I'm like, I didn't shoot the B-roll. I didn't shoot a photo of it, you know. So I was like, oh well. So that'll have to wait. Take down my email. I know. Thanks, JTB. Oh boy. Voltage mode for IEM and dynamic drivers and current mode for planers. Yeah, that makes sense, Ryan. It's so awesome. And congrats, my friend. I hope you're catching up. I hope you're finally getting ahead of the game a little bit, because I know the demand for your headphone is still through the roof. I'm sure. I don't know what the wait time's down to, but I hope you're getting some headway on it. Hi, Grouch from Paradise. Hi from the Grouch from Paradise. Oh, Woodstock G. Yeah. I thought you were calling me the Grouch. I'm like, I don't know, I'm terribly grouchy. I get a little gravelly now and then, get a little prickly. Only when people complain about my music on my show. Get a break, get a life, people. So funny. Hi, Woodstock G. Cheers, brother. Welcome from Paradise. I assume you're in Hawaii then. Very good. Randy says he recently sold his LCD for what could be his next upgrade, Caldera or Safara. Well, man, those Safaras are going for dirt cheap right now. The OG Safara, you know, they're scratch and dent models under $3,000 now. Like 3,200 will get you into a Safara, but you got to have an amp to drive it. That's the thing. So, Randy, it depends on what your chain is. So, if you've got the amp, if you've got an amp for the Sesfara, go for it. It's, you know, it's still probably the best headphone we can hear as of now. Although I'm sure the new Sesfaras are probably trickling out there, but I haven't been in touch with, like, I've been watching the threads on HeadFi. Anybody know what are the reviews of the new Sesfara like? Are people saying that it's better than the OG Sesfara, or is it just a little different? I don't know. I know I've heard it's easier to drive. That's good. But it costs more. You can get more money to HiFiman, less money to your amp company. But if you have like a good signal chain, I would say go with the Caldera, because you really need a great signal chain for the Sesfara to be magical. And the Caldera is amazing with just like a mere mortal amp. So I would say it just comes down to signal chain. And you don't want to, like, but the problem with the Sesfara is you buy it and you listen to it through your rig and you're like, well, this sounds really good, but I think there's got to be more here, because it doesn't sound like spectacular. And, you know, look at the JTB will tell you the long list of amps and signal chains I've swapped out in effort to push the Sesfara to a next level. And it's very expensive, and it's just not worth it. Probably the smart money is to buy the Caldera and be done with it, because you can drive it with anything, any old Burson, whatever. It's like, and you get the Burson on the Caldera, on the Sesfara, and it's like, well, it sounds good, but it's not. You're still not tapping into like the greatness of the Sesfara. On a $3,000 amp, it's like, Jesus, you know, give me a break. So that's kind of what it comes down to. So there you go. Let's see where my LCD4 is still for sale, but I was listening to it the other day and I'm like, do I really want to sell this? I really kind of don't. Oh God. As Neil Snyder says, smart people, maybe he should drop off this chat. I thought we were both idiots. Well, we're fools for our passions. Who you calling smart? They're all us fools are dropping it. Where's Audio Fool when you need them? That's awesome. Chicago has given us Michael Jordan's comeback and now Ray Samuels, Windy City's revivals. Yeah, I know. Man. And it's the home of ZMF too. So, you know, there's always good sounds since the 50s. There have been great sounds coming out of Chicago since Chess Records. Long history of good audio from there. Good audio in Atlanta too, man. Good stuff. Got Muscle Shoals in Alabama. It's just great stuff. Woodstock says his Hugo TT2 that he longed for came in damaged. Oh, man. That's a bummer. I wonder what went wrong. I wonder if something like got knocked around and got knocked off the motherboard. Dang it. That's a painful one, man. Because you get the new gear, you want to hear it. And for it to not even fire up, it's like, oh, damn it. Oh, that sucks. That sucks, man. And we feel for you. Cheers, brother. 4-hour round trip, won't even look at it for a fee because he didn't buy it from them. Yeah, it's tough. You got to find somebody who repairs audio gear. There were 2 places in LA that fixed my TT. One was George Myers Audio in Los Angeles, and he'll fix anything. Those guys will fix anything. And the other one, there was another place, I can't remember the name of it though. It was in Pasadena, and I took it out there, and they did the resolder once on the USB connector. Because that's the weak link on my TT1. TT2 never had a problem with it, but that's a shame, man. That's a painful one. That's hard stuff. Woodstock. Oh, yes, you're in Kootanis, BC. Love it, man. Great name. Kootani! I'm going to clip that. Just clip that and make that a short. Neil Snyder says, like new Sesfara for sale, $3,500. Yeah, Yeah, that's what it is, man. They're just, the prices on those things, it's just the floor fell out of that market. Convince Me Audio has one. I don't know Convince Me Audio, I don't think. I don't know what that is. But cheers. I'm assuming that's a reviewer guy. Another guy like me. But probably smarter. JTB says he'd go Atrium over the Caldera. If you have the amp, go with Ryan's Tungsten. Get some real bang for the buck. Got to have an amp for that. But yeah, if you can do it. Because the Tungsten is just an amazing headphone, man. It's so good. HE-1000. The only thing about the Stealth is it's a little bit on the bright side. You know, you got to tamp that bright. You got to be able to stand the brightness down. But I agree with you. Tungsten's a good option. Got to get in line for that one, though. I think the Atrium is a better all-rounder because it's less amp picky. Sounds good on tubes or solid state. As long as you got the suede pads, boys. Suede pads, that's the rule on the Atrium. I drive that home every chance I can because the Atrium was not that special to me on the lambskin pads. I didn't think that much. I thought, well, it's a good headphone. It's a fun headphone to listen to, but it's dark, really dark. Like, you know, great for brighter material. It was really good to kind of give, you know, if you've got anything that's peaky and kind of has a lot of piercing stuff, it's like it would damp it down with the leather ear pads. But then you put the suede on, it was like, oh, that top end just opened wide up. I was like, I've never heard a pair of ear pads make such a difference, but they did. Sorry, got to keep an eye on work. We're good. No problems. We'll do a few more. And it's just going to be a short live stream today. I just want to check in with you and hope you guys were excited about part one of the B21 Raider review, man. What an amp. What an amp. Matthew, to get the Modhouse Enlium combo, skip this far, buy American. Yeah, well, the amp's not from America, but you can, I don't think so. Enlium's Chinese company, I think, or was a Malaysian company. Maybe got that wrong. Maybe I got it mixed up. But yeah, Modhouse, born and bred, USA. And it's good to see. They're all good. You know, we have so many good options right now. So yeah, that's an option. You just got to have an amp to drive. That's the main thing. That's the main thing. Barry says, as far as easier to drive, but harder to... Noose as far as easier to drive, but harder to pay for. Yes, exactly. Exactly. That's a good one. Kootenays. Okay, I got it. Enlium's Korean. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Neil. That was from Asia. Neil Snyder says, Al Jarreau, Tenderness Live. Great album. Yes, and God, I'm trying to remember one of my favorite versions of that, but I'm drawing a blank on the artist. That's good. A good recommendation. Al Jarreau, phenomenal, man. What a silky voice, man. He had a great... is Al around still? Boy, let's find out. I'm not sure. Al Jarreau. Is Al with us still? I hope so. No, he passed away. Passed away in 2017 in Los Angeles. Oh, that's a shame. What a great voice, though. Silky voice. Beautiful, man. Beautiful singer. Phenomenal stuff. Yeah, it's soulful, too. Great stuff. Always liked Al. JTV says, Ace of Spades, he was driving the Noose as far with an $80,000 audio setup. He's happy for him getting to try all that stuff, but that's really a whole different world of audio. Yeah, and you know, this system here, I'm like, you know, that's when you add up all the stuff and you add up the leanest stack that I've got here and all that, and then you throw in the, you know, if I'm going reel to reel, I can do the reel to reel through it. I'm like, oh man, but the money. It's like you just got to keep throwing cash at it to get them to perform. Sorry, boys, I am on the clock still. Okay, here we go. Okay. All good? Not looking forward to tomorrow. The ESPYs are miserable. It's going to be 120 degrees on the red carpet, and I'm going to be out there for the entire time. It's going to be brutal. It's such a hard show to do. Not good. ESPY Awards. Emilium is Korean. Thank you. Barry Douglas. He doesn't think that the new Sun is easier to drive. The DAC amp Hickman suggests to drive. It costs $15,000. Are you talking about the new Sesfara is easier to drive? They've said that Sesfara is easier to drive. Sesfara Hi-Fi. This is JTV's. JTV's getting name checked by YouTube. Yeah, you know, and you can, you know, 12.5 for the Ray Samuels amp, and then you've got you know, you can go north of there even now, and it's like, it just gets so expensive. You're getting into car territory, you know, like you can get a car. Price of a headphone amp. Goodness me, you know. Ryan says Anlium is from South Korea, while their main office is in California, but most of the work is done in South Korea. Yeah, well, that's good. I mean, still, you got a California connection. That's good enough for me, my friend. Cheers. And more than anything is, you know, it came out of the breakup of Bakoon. Bakoon was the main company that made the 13R that I had, and then they came out with the 23R from Enlium when Enlium sort of broke off from Bakoon. There was some I don't know the whole story behind it. Nobody ever explained it to me, but my understanding was there was some infighting at the company and some arguments going on over the direction of the company, whatever, and they just broke the company apart. Bakoon still exists, but they're not doing. I don't think they're doing any more hi-fi stuff. They're taking the company in a different direction, and Enlium broke off their technology into a separate company. I don't know if there was a buyout or what happened, but they just split the company off. And the 23R is it's a fun amp. That is it's an expensive amp, but it's a fun amp. I really love that thing. There was a time that I was really gonna work to get one in here. I think the B21 is sort of diverted my attention from that. There were a couple of directions I was set to try next in the director's garage, but this B21 has sort of made me go, well, let's see. That's funny. B21 is officially listed under irreconciled differences on his divorce papers. Yeah. It's like, that's going to be a checkbox. Or your breakup. Irreconcilable differences, cheating, B21. Raider. Yeah. Head-fi. A new legal document, a new legal standard. Oh, God. That's so funny. So, coming up on the Director's Garage, what have we got going? Well, tomorrow is going to be the part 2. Release of part 2 tomorrow morning. 7 a.m. West Coast drop, which is 8, 9, 10 a.m. East Coast time and 10 Pacific. And then we're going to, so we've got that episode coming out. Then the director takes a little bit of a breather to kind of try and sleep a little. Because I'm not a lot of sleep this week, boys. I've been busy trying to get all this stuff out. And then after that, we're going to head into the review of this ZMF Caldera closeback with its amazing Mighty Ducks design on the side. Love that. God, I love this. This is nice. It's a great feeling headphone. And then we're going to go into an Audio 46 box that's been sitting here for a month. Oh man, I got to get to this stuff. I just can't make episodes fast enough right now. And then after that, I'm hoping to have this this big surprise. I'm hoping this big surprise comes in by then, and we'll see. And then there may be some other stuff that comes in by then too. So to review and check out. I don't know. Yeah, this is zebra wood. This is zebra wood. This is the base model Caldera closed. I like the more exotic woods that Zach plays with. I just think that it's got good wood. Sorry. I get the comment of the day. Oh man, yes, it's zebra, but I like the exotic woods that I like the exotic woods that Zach plays with. I just think they're more, you know, you see the work and it's like, oh, they're just so beautiful. They're just so beautiful. So I'm more, and this is a little on the light side for me, and it's kind of got like a burned in almost pattern on it. I almost wonder if they heated this. I'm suspecting they heated this a bit to get the grain to pop out a little more, because you know how you could put a flame on it and it'll kind of do highlights. I think that's the process for the cup on this one. But I like the crazy, you know. I like the crazier exotics, you know, the monkey pod or the touch my monkey pod, or the anything can be bad. But he's done some redwoods and things like that, and just really fun. In fact, that's what their new promotion is, isn't it? It's like red, some kind of red thing they're doing right now. I don't know. I haven't been paying too close attention, but whatever. Okay, last couple boys, and then we're gonna wrap it up early today because it's just I got to get back to this Dick Van Dyke thing. I got to finish this report. What kind of? So yes, that's what she said. Zach definitely likes playing with his wood. Never mention the word wood to an 82-year-old man. Neil's got a B21 and a case of Viagra on the way. It's gonna be a good night. It's gonna be a good night in Neil's neighborhood. The wood does look nice on those. Lots of personality. I like a darker finish, but yeah, Zach really can, and I agree with that. And you know my feelings about. I still think that the Atrium Open Back is the shit when it comes to headphones. I don't think there's a prettier headphone ever made than that one. Where's the Atrium at? Oh, it's right there. It's right in the background. My camera's blocking it. Still got my camera out from shooting the B-roll from this last episode. Guys, it's been a journey. I hope you guys get to see the part 2 tomorrow. I hope you're excited to see it. I'm excited to get it out there. And it's just, oh, that amp. That amp is like, it haunts your dreams. Once you get it, it's just... It's amazing. It's amazing, and I know that it's not just me, because I've had some people come over and listen to it, and some people who even are in the chat here, and not today, but in the past. Sorry, but they've all been really impressed by it. Like it's that impressive, and people that I respect their opinions of, and they're just like, it's on the dynamic side, there's nothing, and just wait till tomorrow. It's like it starts taking shape, and I think it's gonna be. The only thing is like I said, there are some amps that are out there for about $5-6 grand more, like the Riviera Labs. Those are headphones. Those are amps I haven't heard. So I got to be a little bit like fair to those things. All I can say is I've never heard a better amp. Like I've never heard an amp that does this much, this well. And you're paying for it, granted. Understandable. You're paying for it. But, it's been such... I wrote... When I wrote Ray, it's in the mail and I'm crying. I really shed a tear. It was hard to let that amp go. It's so good. It was such a... It's a dominant desktop force. It's got the looks. It's just got everything. So really good, guys. Okay, I'm going to wrap things up here. You guys get to see me again tomorrow morning in more of a formal form. We're with a fun, full-blown 28-minute video tomorrow coming out, part 2 of the Ray Samuels audio thing. I want to thank you guys for stopping by just for a little hangout today. We didn't get a lot of viewers in the house today, but you know, it's an odd time. I didn't get a lot of time to promote this, but I just wanted to come on and spend a few minutes with you guys and say hey and you know, do all the things and just hang out for a bit. So this is like my little break in the week. So really enjoy it. So thank you guys, and we will be back tomorrow, and I'll see you guys before you know it. Cheers, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Have a great rest of your week. Peace. Okay. Now I got to get off the air because I was so unprepared today. All right.
Happy hour, people.